The Heartland Ranch is bathed in the soft light of early morning. The vast Alberta sky a canvas of pale gold and rose, the iconic red barn, a silent witness to generations of joy and sorrow, stands steadfast against the landscape for those who know its heart. This is more than scenery, it's the very essence of home. Each beam and fence post imbued with memories. As the sun climbs, Amy Fleming moves with her customary quiet grace among the horses. Her morning routine, a familiar comfort, in a world still shadowed by loss. There's a gentle melancholy in her movements, a quiet resilience etched on her face. Ty's absence remains a tangible void, a missing piece in the intricate pattern of their lives. The camera catches small, poignant moments. Amy, leaning her forehead against a horse's warm neck, her eyes closed as if listening to an unspoken language, her fingers brushing over a worn leather bridle, a phantom touch of the hands that once shared these tasks with hers. These quiet rituals are a testament to a love that endures, a strength found in the rhythms of the ranch that was their shared dream, now her solitary sanctuary of healing. Inside the welcoming warmth of the Heartland kitchen, the air is filled with the scent of coffee and something Lou is determinedly baking. Perhaps a new gluten-free experiment. Lindy, her bright eyes sparkling with childhood innocence, recounts a vivid dream about flying with her voice, a joyful melody that Amy treasures. Their connection is a radiant beacon, a powerful reminder of love's tenacity, even in the face of profound grief. Then, Lindy's voice, clear and guileless, poses the question that always hovers just beneath the surface. When is Daddy coming home from his big trip helping the wild horses? The question, innocent yet laden with unspoken longing, stills the air. Amy's smile falters for a heartbeat as the familiar ache tightens her chest. Her voice, when she replies, is infused with a gentle strength as she reminds Lindy that Ty is on a very important, long assignment, far away, working to protect endangered animals, and that his love for them is as vast as the sky, always present, even when he cannot be. It's a conversation that requires a delicate balance of truth and comfort, shielding Lindy while honoring the depth of their shared loss. Just as a semblance of morning calm settles, a subtle shift occurs. A lone truck, unfamiliar and mud-splattered, appears on the distant horizon, making its slow way up the ranch road. The camera pans to Amy, her head lifting, a flicker of surprise in her eyes. Her breath catches, a strange premonition, a sense of recognition that bypasses logic, stirring deep within her. She moves towards the porch, an unconscious urgency in her step, her heart beginning a heavy, uncertain rhythm. The truck draws nearer, each rotation of its tires bringing an almost unbelievable possibility into sharper focus. It pulls to a stop, and the driver's side door opens. With a breathtaking, heart-stopping slowness, he steps out. Ty Borden. The world seems to pause, suspended. The music underscores the moment, not with a dramatic flourish, but with a tender, searching cello solo. Ty stands there, leaner, his face etched with experiences unspoken, his gaze locked on Amy, a maelstrom of emotions swirling within them, longing, disbelief, fear, and an overwhelming, unquenchable love. Amy's expression fractures, shock warring with a flood of feelings she had carefully walled away. Tears spring to her eyes as she takes a hesitant step, then another, as if drawn by an invisible force, afraid to breathe, desperate to believe. The reunion is initially wordless. Her trembling hand reaches out, not to his face, but to the worn fabric of his jacket, needing tangible proof that he is not a figment of her exhausted imagination. His hand, strong and familiar, covers hers. Then, with a sound that is both a sob and a prayer, they are in each other's arms, a desperate, all-consuming embrace that seeks to erase the years of separation in a single soul-shattering moment. They cling to each other, tears stream, their hearts communicating a truth too profound for words. When Ty finally speaks, his voice is low, raspy, freighted with the weight of all he has endured. He explains the unthinkable. He was part of a clandestine veterinary mission, in a politically unstable region of South America, providing aid to unique and endangered wildlife. Their operation was betrayed, they were ambushed, and he was left for dead, separated from his team, with no communication, no passport, and forced into hiding, relying on the kindness of isolated villagers and his own survival skills to painstakingly make his way back to civilization, and then home. Only now, after months of unimaginable hardship and evading those who still might consider him a threat, has he been able to return. The truth pours out, not just the how, but the agonizing why of his silence, the constant fear for their safety that kept him from reaching out. This scene is pure Heartland, a visually stunning and emotionally raw portrayal of love's endurance, the unyielding strength of family, and the incredible resilience of the human spirit. Ty's voice trembles as he recounts fragments of his ordeal, the hope that flickered but never died. Amy listens, absorbing each word as if it were a life raft, her own tears a silent testament to the pain of his absence. The birthdays the lonely nights, filled with whispered questions. Relief washes over her, immense and overwhelming, yet it is tinged with the deep sorrow of lost time, of shared moments stolen from them. She understands now the impossible choices he faced, but that understanding cannot erase the scars his absence has carved into her soul. Her body trembles as she processes the enormity of it all. When Ty gently reaches for her hand again, she doesn't hesitate. She steps back into his embrace, a silent acknowledgement of the long road to healing that lies ahead, a road they will now walk side by side. Inside the ranch house, Lindy, drawn by the unfamiliar sound of her mother's tears, peers through the window, her small face a mask of confusion, as she sees her mother, clinging to a man she doesn't recognize. Her brow furrows, she has no memory of this stranger. Yet there's an odd sense of familiarity in the way he holds her mother. Driven by a child's unerring instinct and a burgeoning curiosity, Lindy slips on her boots and ventures onto the porch. As she approaches, her steps falter, the intensity of the emotion between the two adults making her pause. She looks up at Amy, her eyes wide with silent questions. Amy kneels, her own eyes still misty, and offers her daughter a encouraging smile. Ty turns, and for the very first time, his gaze falls upon his daughter, no longer the baby he left behind, but a vibrant little girl. With Amy's eyes, his expression softens instantly, his entire being illuminated by a wave of awe and a longing so profound it almost buckles his knees. Ty slowly crouches to Lindy's level, his voice cracking as he says, "Hello, Lindy." The words are simple, yet they carry the weight of 1,000 unspoken dreams, a universe of a father's love. Lindy studies him intently, her little mind working to reconcile this man with the stories her mother has told, the faded photograph by her bed. But sometimes a child's heart understands what words cannot explain. As if guided by an invisible thread of connection, she takes a tentative step forward, then another, and, with a small cry, she breaks into a run and flings herself into his outstretched arms. Ty catches her, holding her close, his body shaking with quiet, choked sobs, as he buries his face in her sun-kissed hair. The moment is pure, tender, and utterly unforgettable, a reunion that transcends time and absence, cementing a bond that was always meant to be. Word of Ty's return spreads across the Heartland ranch, like wildfire. One by one, the family members, who have loved and lost, who have endured and hoped, begin to gather, drawn by the impossible, by the miracle standing in their midst. Ty Borden is back, and each reunion is like a spark reigniting, an old cherished flame, long buried but never truly extinguished. Jack arrives first, the stoic patriarch of the family. He stands at a distance, his silhouette framed against the vast Alberta sky, his weathered face initially unreadable, the years having taught him to shield his heart. But then he sees Ty, not as a ghost or a painful memory, but as a living, breathing man, holding Lindy in his arms, and something within Jack, a carefully constructed wall of grief, crumbles. A quiet breath escapes him. Well, I'll be damned. he murmurs, his voice thick with an emotion he rarely shows. He walks forward, his steps slow and deliberate, his gaze locked on the grandson he thought he'd lost forever. Words falter, but actions speak volumes. Jack pulls Ty into a firm, heartfelt embrace, his own voice breaking, as he whispers, "Welcome home, son." In that single poignant moment, decades of love, unspoken grief, and resilient hope come rushing to the surface. Lou follows over the pragmatist and protector. She freezes in the doorway, her eyes wide, her breath catching, somewhere between disbelief and overwhelming joy. "Is it really you?" she whispers, her voice trembling, before she rushes forward, her arms flung around her brother-in-law. Her tears flow freely, a release of long-held sorrow. "We thought we'd lost you," she chokes out, clinging to the moment as if afraid it might evaporate before her eyes. Her mind, always buzzing with logistics and plans, is momentarily silenced by the sheer unexpected joy of his presence. Then comes Georgie, now a young woman, but still possessing that same fierce, loyal spirit. She doesn't hesitate. She runs to Ty, she cries, her voice a mixture of laughter and tears, as she throws herself into his arms. Her joy is palpable, her energy infectious, and when Ty laughs, that warm, familiar sound that has been absent for too long, it's like a melody the ranch itself has been waiting to hear again, cutting through the years of silence. Finally, there's Tim, complicated, flawed, and fiercely protective in his own way. He approaches slowly, his jaw a storm of emotions warring behind his eyes. His relationship with Ty has always been complex, a mentor, a rival, a father figure, a critic. He stops just short of Ty, the air between them thick with unspoken history. The silence stretches, taut and heavy, until Tim extends a hand. Ty meets it. Their handshake is solid, sincere, a wordless acknowledgement of the past, and a tentative step towards the future. "Glad you're back," Tim says, his voice gruff, but with an undeniable note of relief. It's not complete absolution, but it's a beginning, and for now that's more than enough. The initial euphoria of Ty's return is intoxicating, a balm to old wounds, but as the days unfold, the reality of his presence begins to settle in, like dust motes dancing in the afternoon sun. Ty's return is an undeniable blessing, a miracle they'd all but given up on, but it is also a reckoning. Life at Heartland did not stand still in his absence. The people are older, their experiences have shaped them, the wounds, though healing, are deep, and the stakes for their collective future feel higher at the familiar kitchen table. Laughter rings out, more easily now. Stories are shared, punctuated by inside jokes and soft reminiscent smiles. Lindy, in particular, clings to Ty's every word, her unadulterated joy, a beacon that illuminates the entire house. Amy watches them, her heart swelling with a complex mix of emotions, profound love, quiet awe, and a lingering, tender ache. She has her husband back, the man she never stopped loving, but the scars of his absence, the phantom limb of his presence, haven't entirely faded. Not yet. Later, on the porch swing, under a canopy of stars that seem brighter than they have in years, Amy and Ty find moments of quiet stillness. The place where they once shared so many dreams now holds the space for a new kind of healing. They talk, not just about what happened, the logistics of his survival and return, but about the raw emotional landscape of their separation. "I was so angry," Amy confesses, her voice barely above a whisper, the admission costing her. "I felt so alone, so abandoned. I thought you were gone forever, that I'd have to navigate this life without you. I never stopped trying to come home." Ty replied, his fingers lacing through hers, his own voice thick with emotion. "Every single day, every decision I made, was about getting back to you." To Lindy, they sit in a silence that is not empty, but full of unspoken truths, of shared pain, and resilient love. They know that rebuilding what was lost, forging a new path forward, won't be easy, but for the first time in what feels like an eternity, they are doing it side by side, together. The community reacts with a warmth that is characteristic of Hudson beyond the boundaries of the ranch. Word of Ty's miraculous return spreads to every corner of the small town, the town that mourned him, that shared in the Fleming Borden family's grief, now celebrates his reappearance. Friends, neighbors, and old acquaintances pour onto the Heartland property, bringing with them hugs, casserole, and heartfelt stories. Ty is met, not just with overwhelming love, but with a profound sense of his own legacy. He is an integral part of this place, woven into its fabric, and it becomes clear that Hudson never truly forgot him. The town, led by a tearfully joyful Lou and a beaming Caleb, throws a surprise welcome home party at Maggie's. The diner glows with fairy lights, a local band plays familiar tunes, and laughter floats through the crisp evening air. Like music, there are emotional toasts, long heartfelt hugs, and since bone-crushing handshakes. Ty isn't just welcomed back, he is honored, celebrated, reclaimed by the community that considers him one of their own. As the evening winds down and the crowd begins to thin, Ty and Amy find themselves on the makeshift dance floor outside Maggie's, surrounded by the familiar faces of their friends and family. Under the vast star-studded Alberta sky, they sway slowly to a gentle melody. No words are spoken, no explanations are needed, just two hearts, battered but not broken, finding their rhythm again. Because that, in essence, is what Heartland is all about, not just a television show, but a feeling, a profound and enduring reminder that no matter how fractured things may become, no matter how lost one might feel, love, in its truest and most resilient form, possesses the undeniable power to bring us back home. However, Ty's return is not without its subtle, emerging challenges. The family, while overjoyed, must navigate the complex currents of reintegration, the emotional and psychological ripples of his prolonged and traumatic absence. There are unspoken tensions, as they all try to adjust to this new, yet old reality. For instance, Amy and Ty, despite their deep love, find themselves occasionally out of sync, struggling to rediscover their rhythm as a couple. Both have been changed by their time apart, by the different paths they were forced to walk. They have quiet disagreements, not about monumental issues, but about the small everyday aspects of parenting and future plans. Reflections of the natural friction that arises when two people, deeply in love, are faced with relearning each other after significant life changes. Lindy in particular, while thrilled beyond words to have her father home, also experiences moments of confusion and a shy uncertainty. She has no conscious memory of him, only the stories and pictures her mother has shared. Ty, with infinite patience and gentle care, makes a concerted effort to bond with her. He takes her on slow rides with Spark, pointing out the wonders of the ranch, patiently answering her endless stream of questions, and spending quiet afternoons, simply being present, letting her grow accustomed to him. These scenes are incredibly heartwarming, showcasing Ty's innate kindness and his deep yearning to be a father to his little girl. Lindy's gradual comfort around Ty, the blossoming of her affection for him, is portrayed with a touching sensitivity, highlighting the nuanced and delicate dynamics of their re-emerging relationship. Throughout these adjustments, the narrative is beautifully interwoven with fleeting, poignant flashbacks, Amy and Ty's most cherished and memorable moments from their past. These flashbacks, like fragments of a dream, serve as a powerful reminder of the depth and endurance of their bond. The scenes include significant milestones, their heartfelt wedding vows, the overwhelming joy of Lindy's birth, and those quiet, tender moments that truly captured the essence of their profound love story. These glimpses into what was not only evoke a sense of sweet nostalgia, but also underscore the immense emotional weight and significance of Ty's return. Amy especially finds herself reflecting on the unexpected strength and resilience she discovered within herself during Ty's absence. The flashbacks often contrast sharply with scenes of her present-day capability and quiet confidence, highlighting her remarkable growth as an individual, a mother, and the unwavering pillar of strength for her family. Her journey, her ability to keep Heartland and her family together, through unimaginable grief, is a central and inspiring theme. These moments of reflection and reunion are complemented by a beautifully understated musical score, which masterfully enhances the emotional impact, allowing the feelings to breathe and resonate deeply as the sun dips below the Heartland horizon, painting the sky in breathtaking hues of orange, purple, and gold. The final moments of this emotional roller coaster settle into something quietly profound. Amy and Ty sit side by side on the weathered porch swing, its familiar gentle creak, a comforting rhythm that seems to mirror the hopeful beat of their hearts, finding their way back to each other. The sky itself seems to wrap the ranch in a soft, ethereal light, a visual blessing upon this love story that has endured the unimaginable. In this golden hour stillness, Amy and Ty allow themselves to truly breathe, to speak not as two individuals, haunted and defined by the trauma of their past, but as partners, tentatively, bravely daring to imagine a shared future. Their conversation unfolds with a natural, unforced intimacy, with long, comfortable pauses, tender, understanding glance, and words that carry the weight and wisdom of everything left unsaid for so very long. This isn't mere small talk, it's the careful, deliberate laying of new bricks upon an old, cherished foundation. Ty speaks first, his voice quiet, but imbued with a newfound certainty. He shares his deep-seated longing to return to his veterinary work, not just as a profession, but as a calling, a way to reclaim the purpose and passion that once defined him. There's a spark in his eyes, a flicker of the old time, not just for the animals he has missed so dearly, but for this unexpected, precious second chance at life, at love, at family, that he never thought he'd have. Amy listens, her hand resting gently on his, her expression a beautiful complex mixture of immense pride, relief, and a cautious, tender hope. Then she opens up about her own dreams, born from the crucible of her experiences, expanding the horse therapy program at Heartland, reaching out to help more people, especially children, facing their own traumas, building something lasting and meaningful not just for herself or for Lindy, but perhaps, she ventures softly, for more children in the future. The unspoken question, the possibility of growing their family, hangs in the soft evening air, delicate, uncertain, yet impossibly beautiful and full of hope. They share a smile not of absolute certainty, but of shared possibility. It's a conversation rich with vulnerability, an acknowledgement of the fears that still linger, but also a testament to the quiet courage that only comes from surviving the darkest of storms, and choosing despite everything to still hope for the warmth of the sunshine. This isn't just a scene, it's a soul-deep promise, a silent vow that love, true love, can indeed rise again, stronger and more resilient, from the ashes of heartbreak. It's an affirmation that even shattered hearts can be mended piece by precious piece when nurtured with patience, unwavering trust, and a steadfast, unwavering commitment. Ty and Amy are not the same people they were before tragedy struck. They are stronger, weathered by their trials, yes, but also profoundly wiser. Their love deepened and tempered by adversity, and their quiet, heartfelt exchange, beneath the breathtaking canvas of the setting sun, becomes the undeniable emotional anchor of this extraordinary return, a whispered assurance to everyone watching that this cherished Heartland story is indeed far from over. As the camera slowly, gracefully pulls back, capturing the vast, golden expanse of the ranch and the silhouetted figures of two people finding their way back to home, back to each other, the music swells, soft, stirring, and full of an almost sacred grace. It's the resonant, closing note for a premiere that delivered not just longed-for drama, but also profound emotional depth and a renewed sense of hope for the future of this beloved family. But a new subtle thread of unease begins to weave itself into the fabric of their renewed happiness. Ty, while physically present, seems to carry a lingering shadow from his time away,
a watchfulness that Amy notices in quiet moments. He occasionally receives cryptic, untraceable messages on a burner phone he tries to keep hidden, brushing off Amy's concerned inquiries with reassurances that it's just old contacts from his ordeal. Tying up loose ends. One evening, while looking for a misplaced tool in the barn, Amy stumbles upon a hidden compartment in Ty's old vet kit, a kit he insisted on bringing back into use. Inside, she finds a small state-of-the-art satellite beacon and a faded photograph of Ty with a group of stern-faced individuals, none of whom she recognizes, in what looks like a remote, rugged training camp. The individuals are armed, and Ty, though younger, has a harder, more intense look in his eyes than she's ever seen. The discovery plants a seed of doubt, a chilling question about the true nature of the veterinary mission he was on, and whether the danger he faced is truly in the past, or if it might one day follow him back to the sanctuary of Heartland, threatening not just their newfound peace, but the safety of their entire family. The episode ends with Amy staring at the photograph, a dawning fear in her eyes, as Ty enters the barn, his smile faltering slightly when he sees what she's holding.